Yes, that's right. We are starting the stream with a video of the Dumaguete dump on fire. That was actually from like a couple of years ago. It burned out of control for quite a while. Good morning, one. Good morning, all. It's Ned over at My Philippine Dreams, and this is our weekly live cast talking about issues, comments, questions from our subscribers concerning life in the Philippines, whether you're living here, whether you're thinking about retiring here, studying here, working here, whatever you may be doing as a foreigner. This is what this live cast tries to cover, at least attempts to cover. I'm also going to be responding to comments and questions from the comment section on this live stream as we work our way through it. We got a few things to talk about. Of course, we're going to be talking about that South Korean businessman who was murdered by the Philippine National Police a few weeks back. And I was just waiting for some more information to come out before I talked about this. So we're going to be looking at that. Then we're going to be going into questions and comments from some of our viewers. And then we're going to talk chess. And then we're going to talk about some more viewer comments and some things that are going on locally here and with the vlogging community in general. All right, first up, and this is a pretty crazy one. South Korean businessman named Ji Ik-ju, Ji is the last name with Koreans, was murdered by policemen in Angeles City, he and his housemaid, what happened was the police came to his house, they knocked on his door, and they came in and they said they're investigating him for drugs. They did a little search and they detained them. They took the South Korean businessman, Mr. Ji, and they took the maid to the Philippine National Police Central Headquarters. This is like the central headquarters. And allegedly what happened, and there's more information coming out and more people are being detained and arrested, one of the policemen strangled him to death in the police station. The next day, or that same day, they took the body to a crematorium and cremated him. Then they asked his widow, she didn't realize she was a widow yet, for 5 million pesos in ransom money. She paid the 5 million pesos, and of course the guy was dead, so the police asked for 4.5 million pesos more. Some Filipinos are referring to this as Tokhang for ransom. Tokhang comes from Bisaya. Tok means knock. Tok can also mean drum. And Hangyo means plead. So it's like the system that they got, they call it Aplan Tokhang, which is the war against drugs, where they're going to people's houses, coming in saying, okay, we know what you're doing. We know what's going on. We're going to give you an opportunity to stop doing it. And if you don't, bad things are going to happen. And despite this, the police commissioner, Bato de la Rosa, he offered to resign because this is quite a scandal. This is a central headquarters of the Philippine National Police where this guy was strangled to death, allegedly. And what happened was the police that are being detained and a former police officer, of course they're doing what all criminals do and they're all telling on each other, so there's more information coming out all the time. They're being held in different locations. But President Duterte reiterated his warning against drug lords. He said, drug lords do not have the monopoly on evil in the world. The president said, they have to realize they do not have the monopoly of evil in this world. We are in the government, but that does not mean that we cannot do anything, he said. He goes on to say, which is the lesser evil now? The ones cooking shabu and feeding them to our children, or we who are killing them? And then the president threatened to use his presidential barge, I guess the president has a barge, it's pretty cool, to throw drug lords into the Pasig River. So this is pretty bad. And this is an example of corruption. This is an example of people acting badly. Crocodiles, if you will. They call, corrupt police officers crocodiles that try to extort money out of people or are corrupt. And this was a pretty bad situation. And it's something to keep in mind if you're living, studying, retiring, doing anything in the Philippines. All right, let's go to the comments real quick. Let's see if this live stream is actually live. Yes. Okay, we are live. Cess in the City. You're in Ohio? I thought you were in the Philippines. All right. Nice shout out. Lucas. Morning, Ned. Why didn't you take your own bike to Siquijor rather than rent? If you're only going to be in Siquijor for 2 days, if you're basically going to be there for 36 hours or so, it makes more sense to rent one there. It's actually cheaper than bringing your own scooter over there. If you're going to be there 2 or 3 days, it makes sense to take the Roro and bring your own bike over there. Plus, down at the ferry office, they'll always say, yeah, the ferry leaves at 8 a.m., but we can't guarantee you a spot. If there's a spot, you can go. So some guys might get stranded without their bikes. Also, do you want the rack to the NS200? Because I still got that. Brian Dawson, hello from Fort Knox. That's where I did basic training. Hello, Brian. KI4, what's up, Ned? I sent you an email. You did not get it. No, I didn't. Please send it to myphilippinedreams@gmail.com. Brooksy TJ says, are you aware that property bought in the Philippines is divided up in divorce settlement when divorcing in the USA? I don't know anything about that. All I know is that we cannot own property. If you keep diligent records of the house construction, you can own a partial part of the house, but you don't get that until it's actually sold. But I'm wrong. If your spouse dies, if your Filipino spouse dies and there's no other claims on the property for whatever reason, the surviving spouse can inherit it, and that's the only exception to that ownership rule. It used to be that they had to sell it within a certain period of time, but now I'm hearing that it's just a straight up inheritance. I want to say hi. Somebody wants me to shout out. William, Aliyah. I'm giving William a shout out. Bruce, hi from Calgary. It's cold up there. All right, let's get to some viewer comments real quick. Dylan asks, Ned, I have a budget of around $500 a month. Will that be enough for beer, cigarettes, and everything else? Short answer is no. Even though booze and cigarettes are extremely inexpensive in the Philippines, a beer costs you about $1, a pack of cigarettes costs around $1. When you compile everything else on that, if you want to be comfortable, if you want to be able to use air conditioning, if you want to have internet and all that stuff, you're going to need more money. Michelle and I are averaging about $1,100 US a month, usually less than that, about $1,000, $1,050 thereabouts. And we live, a fairly comfortable middle-class lifestyle, Filipino middle class, and so that's basically that. Moving on, Aaron Wilson. Aaron Wilson asks, Ned, I love your channel and really appreciate all the work that you are putting into it. I have a medical question though. I have asthma and it's really bad. It makes me cough a lot and I am constantly clearing my throat like I have a Pepe frog in it. What's a Pepe frog? Would the Philippines be okay for somebody with bad asthma? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I don't play one on YouTube, nor do I play one on television. I'm not sure. You're going to have to talk to your doctor. I don't know how bad your asthma is. I do know this. The air quality in urban areas in the Philippines is pretty bad. Cebu, even Dumaguete, when there's rush hour going on, when the diesel trucks are going barreling down the road, when everybody's outside burning their trash for some reason, it can be pretty gross. I mean, plumes of smoke. I know that asthma and is a problem in the Philippines, and they think it has something to do with the amount of smoke that's in the air. But again, that's something that you're going to have to talk to your doctor about. Be as objective about it as you can. Visit, check the place out. If you're in the province, you'll have a better chance. Back to the comments. Oh yes, if anybody knows the name of an album that came out in the early 80s that featured a little boy named Artemis and something called The Barrier, send the answer to myphilippinedreams@gmail.com and I will send you a free copy of our ebook. First 3 people to get that right, get a free copy of our book. Back to the comments. Eric Sanderson, can an American citizen apply for dual citizenship? No, as far as I know. And again, I'm not an expert on this. And you guys could probably find this out, just using Google. You have to renounce your U.S. citizenship to get foreign citizenship. And there is no way in hell, even with the current political times, with alternative facts becoming the norm, that I would ever renounce my American citizenship. Rob Julian asks, when's the next Spaghetti Fest, Ned? I'm not sure. I really enjoy doing it. I got to talk to Bud. Bud's an important part of it because we got the Molly Mobile. I don't think we could do it from the Honda Click, carrying around too much stuff. Earl Rule says, good morning, Ned. My name is Earl. Hello from Western Massachusetts. You and Michelle are terrific. Yes, we are. We're pretty awesome when all is said and done. Bum, bum. Frank Taylor, hello. Ali Kali, can you tell us how fast in the net and if you have fiber optic in your area? The internet's pretty bad here. I was actually worried about the livecast this morning because the last couple of days the internet's been really bad. There's been a lot of storms coming through. Although the weather's been cool, it always affects the internet. There's actually another vlogger in the Philippines. He does game streams, and I sent him a question asking him how he's doing that in the Philippines because I'd like to know. More urban areas have fiber optics. Cebu's got fiber optic. Manila's got fiber optic. Some areas. It all depends. But they're also offering, and I haven't checked this out, nobody responded to me. Smart says they got a 50 megabyte download, 5 megabyte upload for $2,600. Actually, not Smart, Sky. Roger Jr. Hi, Ned. Shout out from Roger and Sean. Okay, thanks, man. Okay, City, you're in Ohio. Is it cold there? It's pretty nice here right now. Lucas says we spend around $800 to $1,000 a month. Our house we rent has 5 bedrooms for about $200 a month. Wow, I gotta check out your new place, man. 5 bedroom for $200. That's a deal. Whoosh. Lucas said, yep, there is a theater here in Dumaguete. Yes, but don't go on the weekends when all the students are in there. Because Filipinos approach movies like they do karaoke. It's kind of interactive. They really get involved in the whole thing. And us being old and grumpy, we frown upon that. Lucas is getting 8 to 10. Yeah, we get 10 megabit on PLDT download. We only get 0.5 upload, and that's the killer. That's where they really get you. They can say 20 megabit download, but it's still going to be 0.5 upload usually. And plus, the internet and when they're testing the internet in the Philippines, what they do is they'll connect to a Manila server. They won't go outside to test, the latency and the actual upload and download speed. So it's kind of horseshit, especially Sky Cable. Sky Cable's the worst for that because you can't connect to any server in Manila. You have to connect to the Sky Cable server in Manila. Finally, before we move on to the next topic, Peter asks, Peter Housego, Ned, is PhilHealth available to expats who have an alien card, or is there another option? Yes, if you have an ACR card, you can get PhilHealth. Because if you're not married to somebody, if you're not married to a Filipina or a Filipino, and you get covered under their policy, you get your ACR card, you can get down there, and it's about $44 for the year. Are there any other options? Yes, there are a number of options. Blue Cross, operates within the Philippines. There's also something called PhilCare, which offers pretty good rates for the coverage and the coverage is a lot better than PhilHealth. You got to pay for it, and it caps out at like age 55 or something, I think. I'm not sure. Yes, the Vagabond X Pink World slams it. No, the next 2 people are going to get it. So yes, the first 3 people to send me an email at myphilippinedreams@gmail.com will get a free copy of our ebook. Good job, Vagabond. I've been listening to that. It's a great album, man. Frank Taylor says, thanks for the shout out, Ned. My Filipino wife, Brenda, missed it. She did believe me. And Kenneth in Sarasota, Florida. Okay, moving on. 23-year-old Filipino Wesley So, S-O, he actually looks Chinese, he's Chinoy, is crushing the competition. Filipino chess grandmaster Wesley So, born and raised in Cavite, defeated reigning British national champion Michael Adams at the London Chess Classic on Saturday. So, who is now living in the USA, smart boy, is currently number 4 ranked chess player in the world and number 2 in the US. He is only the 12th player in history to obtain an international rating of 2,800 or higher. Bobby Fischer never attained over 2,800. Wesley is currently poised to win the prestigious 2016 Grand Chess Tour, which includes virtually all the world's top players. In case you don't know, chess is huge in the Philippines. They are very passionate about their chess. As a matter of fact, there's a civic center near the Tevez Sports Complex, and that's all they do is play chess. They've got chess teaching things for the kids and everything. And the old guys are out there smashing everybody. They got game. I've tried a couple times. I got smashed, and I was actually on a chess team at one time. Yes, I was in a chess club. Oi, oi, oi. Okay. So congratulations to Wesley So. He's 23 years old, and he's crushing the competition. Also in billiards. They're awfully good at billiards, too. They're very passionate about billiards. You can go to the most far-flung little province, the most backward area, and somewhere there is a pool table or a billiard table under a nipa hut. It's amazing. All right, back to the comments, and then we'll get some more. Matt Gustafson was there a couple weeks ago. Now back to Idaho, where it's 25 degrees. Enjoy your weather. Yeah, this is the best time of the year, in my humble opinion. My mood is just so much better when it's not brutally hot all the time. When it's hot, I get frustrated. My copa gets broken easily. My coping skills. Scott Pearson. Ned, you do a real nice job of providing information and keeping us up to date with your life in the Philippines. Great job. Thank you, Scott Pearson. Yes, Vagabond X. Spicy David 2005 says, what is up with Peter said? You are going to set him up to kill him. Look at his latest video. No. Dave Bonds. Good question, Peter. Peter's a 13-year-old schoolgirl. Who is this Peter you guys are talking about? Oh, yes, and I hope you guys appreciated the music video I put up yesterday. I thought that was really good. That girl is really talented. They never sent us an email. They haven't got in contact with us yet. All right, David Pike got it, too. All right. No problem, man. Dun, dun. Ned, do you guys go... Victor Lassen asked, Ned, do you guys go to a lot of the fiestas in different towns outside of Dumaguete? No. I'm not a big fan of fiestas. There's just too many people. There's too much noise. There's too much chaos and confusion. It's not really my scene. Eli Whitney asks, and then we'll get to the rest of this, why Dumaguete? Why not someplace cooler like Baguio? We're actually going to be checking some options. We're going to be going up to Luzon to check out some options because I do need the cooler weather. If I'm going to be happy here long term, I got to find someplace cooler. Bukidnon down in Mindanao is actually pretty nice. That's where the Dole pineapple plantations are. It's up in the mountains. It's cool. The only problem is there's not many foreigners there. You stick out like a sore thumb, and you got Abu Sayyaf looking for their next paycheck. Okay. All right, moving on to our next. I think we got another comment coming up here. Questions from viewer comments. Peter Montelli asks, how much for your rental? Actually, our rental is $230. Oh, you're not asking about rentals. You're asking about how much is it for Michelle. Okay. In case people don't know, there's this little fringe group in the vlogger scene, and I'm not going to say any names, but they refer to our wives or our girlfriends or our fiancé as rentals because they say we're paying them to be with them, and we're paying them. So basically, how much does it cost me for Michelle? Nothing. She actually makes money. She's had a job, the whole time I've known her. She contributes to our household expenses, and she's working her ass off. She's got a new job, and she's been putting in at least 10-hour days. I think yesterday was a 12-hour day. So she's really working her butt off. Now, some guys do pay. They call it an allowance. And one of the first things when a group of Filipinas that are with foreigners get together is they ask, hey, what's your allowance? How much you getting? They'll say in Pasaya. So it does happen. And some people look down at it. They look at it as pay to play or, prostitution on the installment plan or whatever. But, that's a reality of life here. And I don't agree with it. I mean, I would never do something like that. But I'm still somewhat young. I'm not super old. If I was coming here as a 75-year-old dude and, I basically need somebody to help out or whatever, maybe I'd engage in a scenario like that. But, most people get together, and they also get crazy about the age gaps. And people were complaining about Donald Trump, Melania being 29 years younger than he is, and saying that she just married him for the money and that he's giving her money and stuff. And yeah, that might be the reality, but that type of thing goes on. And I don't think people should be talking bad about Donald Trump, our president, and Melania, because they have a, nurturing, caring relationship. And it's really working out. So yeah, just a quick shout out to Michelle. She's been really working hard. I'm very proud of her. And she doesn't complain, and she just does the work. She's pretty awesome. So Peter Montelli, how much my rental costs? Nothing. Sorry. Back to viewer. Comments? Oh, me and Michelle just ran into this show, this British show. I think it's produced by the BBC. It's called Black Mirror. Has anybody seen this? We only watched the first 2 episodes from season 1, but I'm super impressed with it. Basically what they're doing is they're talking about technology and the effect that it's having on society and the implications that that creates as far as, you know, being disassociated and disconnected. It's really interesting. It's a great show. I recommend Black Mirror. Vagabond, no woman wants the pizza guy. Yeah, that was pretty gross, man. Somebody was trolling their kid, the 10-year-old kid. That was crazy. I think that person got kicked. I think that was Saturday Night Live, and they got kicked off. But yeah, Victor Lassen, Black Mirror makes you think. LOL. Golden Rich is saying fake wife. You are old, your wife too young. Golden Rich, she using you. Golden Rich, my Thai wife is sexy more than your wife. Golden Rich, my wife is sexy than your wife. Thailand richer. All right, so Golden Rich, that's great. All right. Yeah, Dave Bonds, especially if you're into, you know, technology and stuff. The first episode blew my mind. The one with the Prime Minister and the pig. That was a freaking freak show. That blew my mind. That was crazy. So that's basically things that are going on. Again, at some point we're going to be looking at options of where we're going to be living. We're not under lease here in our pink house here in Dumaguete, so we can basically go whenever we want. We talked to the landlord about, you know, having the dog moved, and the poop smell from the pig is gone because they ate the pig. I guess they were using it for somebody's birthday or something. The dogs here in the neighborhood are doing great. Angel might be pregnant because she's escaped a couple times. We try to keep her in the yard, but she wants to go out and see all her boyfriends, and she's been out a few times, so she might be pregnant. So if anybody in the Dumaguete area, needs puppies, just let me know. Jim says, sadly, Black Mirror is a BBC 3 channel. Is very difficult to get here in the U.S. Okay. Victor said it's on the Netflix. David Pike, good question. So you live on $1,000 a month, but what does it cost to get set up? I mean, when you first get there, rent a hotel, make deposits, get household goods, furniture, kitchen stuff. What do we need to start? I think I spent around $6,000. You know, because I had to buy all furniture, basically everything, you know, in the house I had to buy. I had to buy the scooter, you had to buy the bike. So yeah, the setup costs are there. You had to buy a television, computer, all that stuff. And also, if you're thinking of coming over here to live, like long-term or retiring, you got to have a lot of savings. I always recommend people have, you know, at least a certain amount of income every month, like $1,500, $1,600, $1,700. And have a savings of at least $20,000. Because if things don't work out, you're going to have to go back and you're going to have to restart. And it's going to cost you a lot more going back to restart than it's going to cost you coming here. Bobby K is now trolling Golden Rich. That's great. Lev, hello from Boston. Cool channel. Keep it going. Thanks a lot, man. I miss Boston. I miss Santarpios. I miss Santarpios every day. And I just miss Boston because it's a great town. It's a great city. And I miss Mayor Menino. Rest his soul. Rest in peace. And I think we actually have a Republican governor now, but it's still a cool place. Not that Republicans aren't cool. Yeah, and again, if you knew the name of that album, Pink World by Planet P, which basically this kid Artemis, he's like this prophet, and he's able to like telekinetically project this barrier to protect themselves against nuclear attack. And the music on there is fantastic. The guy, I forgot his name, he used to be the keyboardist, Tony Carey. He used to be the keyboardist for Rainbow. He's a fantastic musician. He's got a great voice. And it's like this like Pink Floyd type concept album. And all the songs, you know, interact and all that shit. And it's freaking fantastic. And all of a sudden I listened to it for many years, and then I stopped. And then I started about 4 or 5 days ago, listening to it again, and maybe it was subconsciously having something to do with Donald Trump now having the keys to the nuclear arsenal. And Rick Perry, the ex-governor of Texas, he's in charge of the nukes, Department of Energy, the one he forgot. Good luck, America. Man, I'm rooting for you. Victor, Ned, since you started living in Dumaguete, have you noticed an increase in younger Americans, around 40 or younger, living in that particular city? Yes, I'm noticing more Americans, more foreigners from the U.S., from Canada, coming here from the U.K. I ran into some British guys working at the hospital because they're going to school here. And I also run into a lot of Filipino Americans. And it's weird because, they look Filipino, and they'll they'll pull me over or whatever on the road, and they'll be like, hey, man, I've watched your channel for a long time. And they're going to school here. So these guys are smart. They know that they can come here. They can go to school for about $3,000-4,000 a year. They have all kinds of medical courses. A lot of guys using the physical therapy program at Silliman University. There's a lot of guys going there. Also guys involved in the marine biology program. So they're coming out with no student debt. But I got to give them credit, too, because these young guys that are coming over here, that takes some guts, man. Coming over to a third world nation, hats off to their parents who were like, yeah, we're not doing $25,000 a year in the U.S. and saddling you with debt. You're going to the Philippines. Plus, they like living here. When I talk to them, they're like, yeah, I really like living here. The quality of the school education, they say the consensus is that it's not up to par as that in the U.S., but that's going to happen. Golden Rich, your wife is a lady? Okay. Lucas is trolling him. Yeah, David Pike, it is an awesome album. And actually, I've been playing a lot of guitar, and you can basically play guitar along to the whole thing. It's really a great album. It's fucking fantastic. Robert Clausen asks, are you going to be watching the Super Bowl? Go Pats. Probably not. I'm not a big fan of football, baseball, hockey, anything like that. I like UFC. I like mixed martial arts. Although I watched Bellator. Anybody seen Bellator? It's not that good. The one I watched was really bad. It was either like a 15-second knockout, or they just basically wrestled around on the floor all the time. God, you guys are really trolling on each other. There's another channel. I forgot the name of it. I think it's Dieter Van Beaver, and he wants to meet up. He actually did a video, and I think it's important that we meet up. I've been skirting this issue for quite a long time because I don't want to give a channel like that, the type of channel that he has, any traction, and he's actually gloating about it in his latest video. He's like, I know what's going to happen. You're gonna attack me, and you're going to hate on me. And then it's just going to give me more views and more AdSense revenue. But it's weird. I'm balancing, doing a video on him. I actually, there's a website that hasn't gone live yet that's basically ready to go on him. So I'm balancing, giving him more views and giving him more traction and putting more money in his pocket against, like, the feeling that with our platform, we're about information. We're about, trying to pass on knowledge and concentrating on facts, being as objective as we can. And, there's a public service there. There's like and it's a public safety issue with this guy also because, there's a variety of stuff going on. So Dieter, yeah, if you want to meet up in Dumaguete, that would be great. I think that would be a great idea. Because it would give you and me an opportunity to sit down and actually try to discern the objective truths of what is going on. Because, there's a lot of people saying that you're a convicted sex offender and that you can see it online in the Missouri State database. They say that you claim to be an Army Ranger, and they're accusing you of, stolen valor and stuff. They're accusing you of ripping off photos, of plagiarizing photos, and there's a whole bunch of stuff, graduating Oral University and all the little missionary stuff that you got going on when you're trying to hustle people for money. All these accusations. We got to look at this stuff. We got to sit down, and I think that'll be a great opportunity for us. So I accept your offer to come to Dumaguete. Just send me a PM through our channel, or you can email me at myphilippinedreams.com. I think that would be great. Kid, 23 years old. He's like one of the best chess players in the world. That's crazy. Crazy. Golden Rich is still going. Spicy David, do you think the Philippines will improve their internet network? It's going to create a job for poor Pinoy since so many ways to earn money online. That's a very good question. That's actually a problem kind of facing the Philippines. A lot of people work online. They call it home base. Here, you know, in the Visayas, they call it home base. So basically it's Filipinos and Filipinas working from home for outside employers. Like Michelle's working for a U.S. employer right now. And that's great because it provides money for Pinoy and Pinay. But BIR, the tax service here, has a hard time tracking that money flow. So, but yeah, I mean, ever since I've gotten here, the internet has improved. It's been slow, but it's been somewhat steady. When I first got here, it was horrible, dropping out all the time. So it's gotten a little bit better. They're trying to, you know, I guess Globe had issues. They've lost revenue. They charge too much for too little, basically. There's a lot of latency, especially once you bounce outside the Philippines, because I don't access a lot of Philippine websites. And the upload speed in particular is pretty bad. But, you know, it's going to get better. The country is evolving. It's a developing nation. People say third world. People say developing. It's getting there. And the fiber optic system, matter of fact, they got fiber optic down in frickin' Michelle's old hometown. She lived down in Pagadian City, which, if you've been to Pagadian City down in southern Mindanao, it's kind of a backwater. Nothing personal, Pagadian City, but it's not a big developed urban area. But they actually have PLDT has fiber optic there with crazy, you know, download and upload speeds. So who knows what's going to happen? I'm not an expert. I'm not a tech expert. But I know somebody who is a tech expert, knows a lot about the internet. All right, Dave Bonds, got to go, man. Take care. Uncle Need. This is PTM. Oh, shit, I lost you, man. Uncle Ned, excuse me, but girl from my country played draw versus Carlson, and he is only 22, and Carlson is the best chess player. Oh, okay. I don't know nothing about chess, but I'm pretty good. Yeah, the call centers. The call centers, basically, the big call centers here get the BPOs. That can be owned by foreigners, by the way. So when people say foreigners can't own companies in the Philippines, that's actually not true. So yeah, they get the priority on the internet bandwidth. I got a buddy of mine who runs a BPO here. He's run it for years. He says the biggest problem he has is getting his employees to show up on time and having internet problems. Yeah, and somebody asked, can I work in the Philippines? To work in the Philippines, you actually need a work permit. And the way that works is employers basically have to do the footwork on that. And what they do is they say, okay, we got this guy who's, you know, has some skills that no other Filipino can do, so that's why we're asking that we can hire him. So basically what they're trying to do is prioritize jobs for Filipino citizens, which makes a whole lot of sense. So it's difficult for foreigners. Well, not difficult. You can work here. Like, I know guys teaching at the university that are here on work permits because they have special skills. The Japanese guys working up in the thermal power plant, they're all here on work permits. So you can get it. But you also got to realize the pay scale. Like the teachers that I know, and these are older retired gentlemen that are basically kind of volunteering their time working there because the pay is pretty low, that they're getting here. And that's why there's so many people switching to home base, working from home, working on Upwork and all that. Boy, there's a lot of weird comments. Poor Golden Rich. Be nice to Golden Rich. He's from Thailand. Thank you, Twitchy, by the way, for bringing all these Thai guys over to our channel. It's great. Really appreciate it. Like Pete Montelli. I actually went to Pete Montelli's page because you can see people's subscriptions, and he subscribed to like all the alt-right sites. Again, I'm not going to say any names, but as soon as I saw Ransom, I'm like, I know what's going on here. Hey, Brian. Brian, what's going on? Hi back at you. Golden Rich says, what is a standbys? A standby is basically someone just sitting around doing nothing. It's kind of like a bum. Well, not a bum, but just hanging out doing nothing. Mga standby. And it's also a very famous song by this guy, a band called Enchi, E-N-C-H-I. And I don't know if he's OFW or not, but he plays Wednesday nights at Hiya High, and they have a great song called "The Standby," and you can actually see it on YouTube, and there's footage of them playing it live, and it's a great song. It's a and you hear it on the radio here a lot too. It's one of my favorite songs, and it's one of the things I'm using to help me learn Bisaya. So that's about it. We've been babbling on here for 38 minutes. I hope I provided some information. Special thanks out to Golden Rich, who has turned the comment section into a massive battle. David Pike, ever do a brown or red bandana, Ned? Who are you representing? I'm representing me, man. So, again, I hope everybody is well. If you're interested in learning more, if you just come across our channel, you can go over to our website, myphilippinedreams.com. We also have a book that's available, an ebook. It's 400 plus pages. It costs $10.95. You can pay through PayPal or credit card. It's got a 100% money back guarantee. So if you don't like it, you can just email me and I'll refund the money. I've never had anybody request that. I've never had anybody request that. Even nobody's trolled me and done that. I don't know. So again, we're going to do our weekly live cast every Wednesday morning, 10 o'clock local time. That is 9 p.m. Tuesday evening if you are on the East Coast of the United States. Hope you all are well. Hope all of your dreams come true. Keep on keeping on. And thanks for everybody who contributed, asked questions, and interacted with Golden Rich. I really appreciate it. Be well, you all, and I'll see you next time on My Philippine Dreams. I actually got something going up tomorrow that I think is pretty good, so you can check that out. Take care.